So after 24 years, we have the new non-Gandhi Congress chief in Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, who's officially taken over today as the Congress president. Pallavi Ghosh is joining me from the Congress headquarters, where he was shortly formally appointed as the new Congress president. And Pallavi, with just about like 15 days to go for the Himachal election, it's very much a baptism by ballot for Mr. Kharge. He'll have to straightaway dive into the electoral planning and campaign for the party in Himachal Pradesh.
Well, I'm going to try and respond to you in this din. In fact, the national anthem is about to be played. And after that, there's going to be a Congress working committee meeting over here. And interestingly, which I found really Aman was, and which actually heralds the change in the Congress party, is that a room which has been occupied by Sonia Gandhi for over 20 years, now that room is going to be occupied by Mallikarjun Kharge. In fact, those nameplates have already been put out. Also, another interesting thing I saw is that a corridor has been created over here in which a party worker can actually greet and meet the new Congress president. The biggest criticism against the Gandhis was that they were inaccessible. No one could even enter the room. No one can even seek an appointment, get it easily. This is a complaint against both Sonia and Rahul Gandhi. I think Kharge is going to do things differently. He understands that, which is why on day one, an official taking charge, and I can see it about to be ending now, this corridor has been created where all these party workers can meet him, greet him. And also I'm told that his party office over here is going to be kept open. So anyone who wants to meet him can easily meet him. Thereby lies his big challenge. See, the power of any political party comes in from the party workers also. I mean, the power of the BJP, for example, comes in from the Karyakartas, right? The same we find in the TMC, the same in Aam Aadmi Party. Congress has those Karyakartas, but they're so disillusioned. They feel that we cannot meet our Neta. I think Kharge is going to try and change those things. It's interesting in his speech, he was talking about that I'll try my best, what I can do up to my talent and yogyata, but I need the support of each and every party worker. So he's trying to be inclusive. That for me is the biggest challenge. Elections can be won, lost, but for that also you need to have a strategy, you have to have a party support. I think that is where he's going to be looking at bringing that change in the Congress party. Don't you think
Be
so?
far more accessible to the Karyakarta, to the party workers, a more accessible, a more, whom you can easily meet in the Congress headquarters, who actually sits there in his office, when the workers come from across the country. Pallavi, we were there at AICC a few days back and we saw these workers coming and clicking photos with the big banners of Mr. Rajiv Gandhi and Indira Gandhi ji, which is there in the lawns of AICC. But still, that feeling is very much there. The Congress worker does associate with the Gandhis, but I think they also want an accessible president, whom many a time it is more like their complaint being heard, not really being solved, but at least somebody heard it. Which really happens in the BJP. If you go to the BJP office, you'll find some of the other leaders there sitting to meet the Karyakarta. It's a very Karyakarta-driven party, the BJP, which was in a way a bit of missing in the Congress over the years. Uh, I think that thing might change with Mr. Kharge actually coming there and plunging himself headlong into this fight. Also, I think, Pallavi, about the Himachal elections, I think the biggest challenge for Mr. Kharge, Himachal is also one state where the Congress is pretty strong. Congress is not out of the fight. In fact, Congress could pose a very, very tough fight. Some even say Congress might have a slight edge, till the Prime Minister comes and begins this campaign, and then, when the PM takes over, then the election becomes far more nail biting. But, Himachal, given its history of, changing governments every 5 years, it is not that Congress is out of it by any means in Himachal, and Mr. Kharge maybe needs to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the noise around me. I don't know if I'm going to try and do something different bar circuit and try and show you the pictures. But you know what is happening now? I'm just going to try and show you the pictures if you can get a sense of it. You can see Mallikarjun Kharge, who's been accompanied by Sonia Gandhi. And she's, of course, being followed by KC Venugopal. There's Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. There's Rahul Gandhi over there. And what they're going to do is take Mallikarjun Kharge to his new room. And this is the room which I was talking about. Very clear-cut messaging that they're trying to send out over here. Aman, I don't know if you got those pictures. Did you manage to get a peek on the pictures? You did.
Yeah, I did. You can just put a hand a bit more
I
right.
think the messaging that they're trying to send out is that, look, the Gandhis are giving over charge to Mallikarjun Kharge, and this is going to be a new generation. In fact, interesting, I'm just going to show you Shashi Tharoor also, who just waved, and there's Anand Sharma, there's Ajay Kumar, and of course Chidambaram. So, a mix, basically, Aman, they're trying to, just to go to the point, the three Gandhis going along with Mallikarjun Kharge and leaving him to the room. That's the messaging that we are handing over charge. We don't have the responsibility. But will this really mean giving up power? You know, the speech of Kharge, K.C. Venugopal, was tempered by many references to the Gandhis. And in fact, even outside, I saw those posters where we saw, posters of Rahul Gandhi Zindabad, and there were all the Bharat Jodo Yatris very much there in the audience. And all of them are actually chanting Rahul Gandhi's name. So I don't think, frankly speaking, Aman, the Gandhis are going to go away anywhere. What do you think?
Well, obviously, I think every leader in the Congress who has spoken on this issue in the last 1 month definitely said that the Gandhi is still the pillar of support. They will be the pillar of inspiration. They will be very much there. Even today, I think you've spoken to a few leaders who said the same, that the Gandhis are not going anywhere. They want to be here. They are the source of, all the encouragement and all the guidance which Mr. Kharge needs. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, who's been the Congress president for over 2 decades, is always going to be there for him. So that I think that nobody is discounting that fact. The only worry is that will it become a case where Mr. Kharge is going for the approval of every decision to the Gandhis. That is the real, as what the BJP now is saying, that he will be a remote controlled president. If every decision taken by Mr. Kharge is to be approved by the Gandhis, or worse, if some decision of Mr. Kharge is overturned by the Gandhis, that could become a real ammunition to the BJP to say, look, this is very much the same. It's old wine in a new bottle. So in a way, a lot of onus, I think, is also on the Gandhis to give Mr. Kharge a freer hand. Let him be a president of his own, of his own word, of his own, be a president of his own, and enforce some decisions, because there is definitely a case that Congress needs to change. Congress needs to adopt a new methodology, a new strategy to take on the BJP. So, if the same thing continues, then it's not going to bring the results. And I think Himachal, I think, Pallavi, more than Gujarat. Gujarat, everybody, seems to say that Gujarat, it doesn't seem to be much of a fight, with BJP in a very, very strong position this time, unlike in 2017. But I think it is the Himachal election which is what the Congress's real test. If it manages to win Himachal, I think Mr. Kharge would get a real boost. But if it loses Himachal, I think the leadership will. The Kharge can always argue that he had no time, but obviously questions will start to be getting raised again. That why could we not win Himachal, an election which, the cyclic change of power. Congress is supposed to come back by going by that history.
Absolutely, and Himachal, Gujarat, and also let's not forget Karnataka, because interesting. I also saw Siddaramaiah very much here, and Kharge comes in from Karnataka. And remember, we've always been critical of the Gandhis. That here you have both Rahul and Sonia Gandhi, and also Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. All of three have made Uttar Pradesh their base, but look where the Congress party is there. Almost zero as far as assembly elections are concerned. They have just one MP from Uttar Pradesh, and that happens to be Sonia Gandhi. I think the same question will be asked of Kharge, what about her home state? So that pressure is also going to mount on Kharge to deliver, because they go Gujarat and Himachal, the campaigning is pretty much begun. I mean, in Gujarat, I think the days are going to be announced anytime now, Aman. But I think in Karnataka, they still have a lot of time. So there are two problems over there. One, he belongs to Karnataka. That's going to be one challenge. And second, the Bharat Jodo Yatra's biggest traction really was seen in Karnataka, right? So I think that is going to be a double pressure on both Rahul Gandhi as well as Kharge. But more than that, Aman, this is what I really want to know from you, because see, you have from the BJP an excellent orator, communicator like the Prime Minister. Okay, and you have a JP Nadda, Amit Shah. Karvin Kejriwal, who of course threw a bombshell of sorts when he made that suggestion from AAM. From almost every other party, you have good speakers. Congress has always lacked in a good public speaker. Do you think Kharge, in that sense, can take on, say, the Modi factor in terms of speaking and the art of communication? I mean, Kharge, of course, speaks quite good Hindi and English, by the way.
Well, I don't know how much he can pull, in an election rally, for example. Definitely, BJP has a greater edge in that. In Parliament, we have seen Mr. Kharge speak very eloquently, very forcefully on various issues in various debates against the BJP, taking on the BJP. But I think Parliament and the election arena is completely different. Pallavi, there are two different skill sets required for that. And definitely BJP, or be it Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, definitely have a skill set which is far, far better. If we say maybe it was Mr. Tharoor who could have been a better bet, well, that is the thing in the past. Mr. Tharoor has lost, and he might have been a bigger electoral draw, definitely, than Mr. Kharge in an election battle. I don't know how much in the north, but definitely in the south. But still, I think Mr. Kharge needs. See, I think Congress has campaigners for Himachal. Priyanka Gandhi is there. We had, in fact, the Congress state chief Pratibha Singh telling us in an interview yesterday that even Rahul Gandhi might take a break a bit from the Bharat Jodo Yatra and come to campaign in Himachal. And they are also expecting a few rallies by Sonia Gandhi in Himachal. So Congress does have the campaigners in Himachal. Maybe they don't need so much Mallikarjun Kharge for campaigning, but they need Mallikarjun Kharge for organization and planning. What will be the strategy in the last 2 weeks? How is the campaign planned? Basically, to tighten the nuts and bolts of the organization, tighten the nuts and bolts of the strategy. I think that is where Mr. Kharge's role is going to be crucial, and that is, I think, his USP coming into this role, because he knows the organization very well. He's been a PCC president multiple times. He knows how the Congress works, essentially, Pallavi. Don't you think so?
Aman, I have to mention this. I think one of the first challenges which Kharge is going to have to face is with Rajasthan. And guess who I just saw walking through? Sachin Pilot. So he's going inside that room which Kharge is going to take charge of. Seated right in the front was Ashok Gehlot. So this is a decision which has been postponed. It has been brushed under the carpet. Very convenient for the Gandhis not to take a call, because they don't want, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Either Gehlot or Pilot, unke dushman ban jayenge. So let's leave a decision to new Congress president. So I feel quite sorry for Kharge, because it's going to be a very tough call. Can you continue with Gehlot? Then how will you kind of pacify Pilot? And Pilot actually walked through me, like looking very confident. So I hate using that word body language, but I think he's having a lot of hope that Kharge will do what the Gandhis had, according to him, promised him, and what they could not. So I think the Gandhis also realized कि बुरा क्यों बनना. So I think that decision has been left to the Kharge, and Bichara Mr. Kharge, either which way, he'll have to take a call. By not taking a call, also he's going to take a call if Gehlot is continuing. How long will Pilot keep quiet? Those kind of factors. So I think this is going to be first big litmus test. That decision will now have to be taken maximum within the next 10 to 15 days, that whether there is going to be a change in Rajasthan. Then, of course, Gujarat, Himachal, I still think the strategy over there is a little bit late, because he's coming into the picture a little late. But Karnataka, yes, as we were talking about. But more than that, there are some faces which I saw last time Rahul Gandhi took over. And there were people like Jitin Prasad, Scindia, it is interesting. They were very much there and very elated when Rahul Gandhi became the president. Today, none of them are here. The only among those so-called Babalok brigade was Milind Devra. And I asked him, how long are you going to hang around? So he just smiles and walks off. I think that's going to be a big challenge to Kharge. Convince the party leaders, and especially the young, restless and ambitious, that you have...
Yeah, and especially because the young leaders are the ones who may not associate so much with Mr. Kharge, because obviously Mr. Kharge comes is seen as from the old school of the Congress in a way. So the young leadership of the Congress, and I think correctly you say, what was Pallavi seeing a picture of Mr. Kharge holding hands with Mr. Gehlot and Mr. Pilot? What are the chances of such a picture coming and no decision happening?
I am going to love that picture. I'm going to capture it. I think that's going to become a power circuit thumbnail. And in fact, both of them are inside the room at this point of time. So I'm going to have to go off in a bit, really, Aman. But yeah, as I said, it's not going to be an easy decision. It's been a typical Gandhi style of not taking a decision and shoving it under the carpet. This time round, they will have to do it. Kharge in that sense will have to also change the style. The Gandhi style has often been, let's hold meetings, sochenge, sahi samay pe karenge, looking for the right time. In politics, there's no such thing as a right time. So, you have to do it. So I don't know if Kharge is going to bring that change in the party.
Well, definitely. I think Mr. Kharge has a lot on his plate. Rajasthan, Himachal, Gujarat, Karnataka next year. And we'll have much more to talk about in the next power circuits when we do on Mr. Kharge's challenge. We'll probably have to rush back to see what Mr. Kharge is up to in his new office. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining us today on Power Circuit or CNN News 18. Thank you, Pallavi.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Aman, for joining in.